What are the most common classical openings? If you are curious about the most common classical openings in chess, you are in for a treat. These openings have stood the test of time and are essential for any serious player. Let's break down what makes these openings so popular and effective. Classical openings are traditional moves that have been used for centuries. They provide a solid foundation for the game, allowing players to develop their pieces and control key squares. A key concept in these openings is the control of the center. Moves like one pawn to e4, one pawn to d4, knight to f3, and pawn to c4 are popular because they help players gain central control quickly. Another important aspect is piece development. Classical openings focus on getting knights, bishops, and queens into play early. This approach prepares players for potential pawn breaks and tactical opportunities. Now let's look at some specific classical openings that players often use. The Ruy Lopez is a classic, starting with one pawn to e4, one pawn to e5, knight to f3, and bishop to b5. This opening is aggressive and offers many possibilities for white to create strong attacks. Next is the Italian game, which starts with one pawn to e4, one pawn to e5, knight to f3, and bishop to c4. This opening is known for its quick development and often leads to sharp tactical positions. The Sicilian Defense is another notable mention. It is a response to one pawn to e4, starting with one pawn to c5. This defense is complex and gives black many counterplay options. Then we have the Queen's Gambit, which begins with one pawn to d4, one pawn to d5, and two pawns to c4. This opening allows white to establish a strong pawn center and develop pieces efficiently. Lastly, the King's Gambit starts with one pawn to e4, one pawn to e5, and two pawns to f4. This opening involves a pawn sacrifice for quick development and pressure on black's position. Understanding these classical openings is essential for any chess player. They provide a basis for more advanced strategies and help players develop their style. Those who enjoy aggressive play might lean towards the Ruy Lopez or Italian game. Meanwhile, players who prefer a more strategic approach might choose the Queen's Gambit. In high-level opening preparation, mastering these classical openings allows players to focus on deeper strategies and tactics. It also helps them see how different openings can transition into one another, offering flexibility against various defenses. So, if you want to improve your chess game, getting familiar with these classical openings is a great place to start.